Here's the analogy I keep coming back to. We all use map apps. If there's traffic ahead, the app warns you. That is helpful. But the real value is not just the warning. The real value is that the app helps you reroute. It tells you where the delay is. It gives you an alternative. It helps you make better decisions before you lose more time. Now, compare that to how your CPG reporting works. Most dashboards tell brands that they're already in heavy traffic. They show the slowdown after it happened. They show the missed number after the quarter closed. They show the deduction after the cash was drained. They show the promotion result after the spend is gone. They show the sales gap after the retail conversion gets harder. That is not enough anymore. Not when the margin for error got smaller. A better tool should help you see what's coming. It should help you understand why it matters. It should help you decide what to do next. That is what Retail Clarity Decision Tools are built to do. They are not generic spreadsheets. They are decision tools. They are built around the question the team actually needs to answer. That is the difference between reporting and retail clarity. Your brand is not broken. The margin for error just got smaller. Welcome to the Bro-Proof Your CPG Brand podcast. I'm Dan Lohman, founder of Retail Solved, and this is the show where we help entrepreneurial CPG founders protect runway, improve execution, and compete smarter. Today, I want to name something that a lot of founders are feeling, and I want to name it carefully because this does not need to be political. It does not need to be dramatic, and it does not need to be another conversation about who is right or who is wrong. But it does need to be honest. Growth feels harder right now because the margin for error just got smaller. That is the phrase I want you to hold on to today. The margin for error just got smaller. Your brand may not be broken. Your product may not be broken. Your mission may not be broken. Your founder instincts may not be broken. But the environment around your business has changed. And when the environment changes, the old assumptions stop working the same way. That is what a lot of founders are feeling right now. They may not always have the words for it, but they can feel it. Sales can be up, but cash still feels tight. Distribution can grow, but the business still feels more fragile. Promotions can move volume, but margin can still get compressed. Retail conversions can feel promising, but execution can still break down. Shoppers can still love your brand, but they buy it differently, and your reports may show you what happened, but they do not always tell you why it happened, what influenced it, or what to do next. That is the problem. The businesses are being asked to make better decisions in a less forgiving environment. That is why this episode matters, because a lot of founders are still trying to solve today's problems with yesterday's margin for error, and that can get expensive fast. Good business thrives on predictability. That is true for retailers, it's true for manufacturers, it is true for brokers, it is true for distributors, and it is true for investors. And it is absolutely true for entrepreneur CPG founders. When things are predictable, the business has more room to absorb mistakes. A promotion that performs a little below plan may not hurt as much. A deduction that comes in later than expected may be frustrating but manageable. A freight increase may be painful but not devastating. A retailer delay may slow momentum but not threaten the business. A little inefficiency can be absorbed. That is what I mean by the margin of error. In more predictable times, the business can sometimes survive imperfect decisions. It can recover, it can adjust, it can make up ground. But when inflation remains elevated, input costs move faster, freight changes quickly, shoppers become more cautious, and retailers expect more support, the room for error shrinks. A small mistake gets bigger. A delayed decision costs more. A promotion that does not create profitable demand can shorten runway. A deduction that should have been prevented can drain cash when you were counting on it. A weak follow-up system can waste money you already spent to create the opportunity. A report that tells you what happened too late can leave you reacting after the damage is already done. That is what many founders are living through. The decisions are heavier now. The kitchen table decisions are heavier for shoppers, and those decisions eventually work their way back to the brand. The kitchen table is where this starts. Let's talk about the shopper for a moment, because this starts at the kitchen table. Shoppers are doing their own version of runway management. They're looking at the grocery bill, at the gas, at the rent, at the childcare. They're looking at the debt. They're looking at everything that competes for the same dollar. That does not mean shoppers stop caring about better for you products. It does not mean they stop caring about the mission. It does not mean they stop caring about quality, health, and sustainability or trust. but it does mean that they're weighing decisions differently. They may still love your brand, but they may buy it less often. They may compare more carefully. They may trade down in one category so that they can trade up in another. They may wait for promotion. They may buy the larger size if it gives them better value, or they may buy the smaller size because the cash outlay feels safer. They may still believe in your mission, but they need your brand to make sense inside of their current reality. That matters, because when the shopper's math changes, the founder's math needs to change too. And your sales reports may be the last place you find out. By the time velocity slows, repeat purchase weekends, promotion performance changes, or retailer confidence gets soft, the shopper already made the decision. That is why shopper visibility matters. It's not a nice to have, it is one of the ways brands protect Runway. Because the faster you understand what the shopper's thinking, the faster you can make better decisions. This is why more data is not enough. A lot of brands have data. They have sales reports, distribution reports, retailer portals, broker updates, and deduction files. They even have promotion recaps. Some have syndicated data, some have dashboards, and some have more spreadsheets than they know what to do with. But more data does not automatically create more clarity. This is one of the biggest traps in CPG. A dashboard may tell you what happened. That is useful, but it does not always tell you why it happened. It may not tell you what influenced it. It may not tell you what to fix first. It may not tell you how to avoid the same problem next time. And it may not tell you where the opportunity is hiding. Here's the analogy I keep coming back to. We all use map apps. If there's traffic ahead, the app warns you. That is helpful. But the real value is not just the warning. The real value is that the app helps you reroute. It tells you where the delay is. It gives you an alternative. It helps you make better decisions before you lose more time. Now, compare that to how your CPG reporting works. Most dashboards tell brands that they're already in heavy traffic. They show the slowdown after it happened. They show the missed number after the quarter closed. They show the deduction after the cash was drained. They show the promotion result after the spend is gone. They show the sales gap after the retail conversion gets harder. That is not enough anymore. Not when the margin for error got smaller. A better tool should help you see what's coming. It should help you understand why it matters. It should help you decide what to do next. That is what retail clarity decision tools are built to do. They are not generic spreadsheets. They are decision tools. They are built around the question the team actually needs to answer. Which gap matters most? Which retailer needs attention first? Which promotion window gives us the best chance to win? Which deduction root cause keeps repeating? Which item should be prioritized? Which broker action needs to happen next? Which shopper signal should change the plan? That is the difference between reporting and retail clarity. The promotion example founders need to understand. Let's make this practical. Imagine your brand is planning a promotion around a busy holiday window. A lot of brands default to the obvious week. The retailer asks for support. The competition is active. The calendar looks full. The discount needs to be deep. The display cost is higher. The noise is louder. And because everyone else is trying to win the same moment, your brand may be forced to spend more just to get noticed. Now, imagine a better decision tool. Not just a spreadsheet that says what happened last year, past tense. A tool that helps you think through the actual decision. What if it showed you that promoting the week before the major holiday could produce a better outcome? Maybe competitive noise is lower. Maybe premium display space is less expensive and easier to secure. Maybe the retailer is more open to support because fewer brands are fighting for that exact week. Maybe you can maintain a stronger price point with less discounting. Maybe you introduce your brand to shoppers while they're still planning. Maybe you drive traffic into the category before the category gets crowded. Maybe you create a better retailer story because you are not simply just trying to join the same price war everyone else is funding. That is the kind of thinking most dashboards do not give you. But it is exactly what brands need right now. Because if the only tool you'll have is a report that tells you what happened last year, you may end up repeating the same pattern. More discount, more noise, more spend, less clarity. A better question is, where can we win without funding the same fight everyone else is trying to win? That is retail clarity. It is not just knowing the numbers. It is knowing what decision the numbers should help you make. The 4 questions that change the conversation. This is why I built the Retail Clarity Framework around 4 questions. The first question is, what happened. That is the internal view. Sales, shipment, deductions, promotions, inventory, retailer scorecards, invoices, reports. You need that. But you cannot stop there. The second question is, why did it happen? What is the shopper view? What did the shopper understand? What did they miss? What did they value? What did they reject? What were they comparing you to? What changed in the kitchen table math? This is where a guide like the Shopper Signal Flywheel becomes so important. Your email list is not just a coupon channel. It can become a listing system. It can help you understand what shoppers are thinking before the sales report shows the result. The third question is, what influenced it? What is the competitive view? What did the competitors do? Was private label more aggressive? Did another brand own the display? Did pricing shift? Did the retailer change strategy? Did your product get compared to a different category other than the one your data platform uses? Did the shelf tell a different story than your report? The fourth question is, what should happen next? That is the predictive view. That is where clarity becomes action, not just more information, not another meeting, not another report, a better next decision. That is the whole point. The Retail Clarity Framework is designed to help founders see what others miss and decide what to do next. That is how you get more runway from the resources you already have. That is how smaller brands earn an equal seat at the table. That is how you compete with bigger, better funded brands without simply trying to outspend them. The old playbook was more forgiving. I want to come back to this idea of forgiveness because this is the part I do not think enough founders are being told. CPG used to be a lot more forgiving. Not easy. It has never been easy, but more forgiving. Capital was easier to access. Some retailers had more patience. Promotional mistakes could be absorbed more easily. Input costs were not always moving as quickly. Consumer behavior was not always shifting as sharply. The path from trial to repeat could feel more predictable. And when there's more room in the model, the business could survive inefficiency. That is less true now. Now the wrong decision can have a longer tail. Cutting the wrong spend can weaken future demand. Funding the wrong promotion can train the shopper to wait. Ignoring deductions can quietly drain cash. Chasing the wrong retailer can add complexity without enough profit. Launching the wrong item can use up shelf trust that you may need later. Failing to follow up after the trade show can waste an investment you already made. Relying on a dashboard that does not show you what to do next can keep the team busy but not focused. This is why I'm being so direct. Founders do not need more random advice right now. They need clearer decision discipline. They need to know what to protect. They need to know what to stop. They need to know what to fix first. They need to know where the business is leaking. The leak is not always obvious. When founders hear the word leak, they often think of cash. And yes, cash leaks matter. Deductions, chargebacks, trade spend, bad promotions, pricing mistakes, retailer programs that do not pay back. But not every leak that shows up immediately is in the bank account. Some leaks may show up as lost momentum. Some may show up as weak execution. Some show up as confused shoppers. Some show up as poor follow-up. Some show up as data that does not answer the real question. Some show up as time wasted debating the wrong issue. And some leaks eventually become cash problems. This is why I built the free 15-minute CPG Runway Leak Finder. It is not meant to solve everything. It is meant to help you slow the problem down, to look at your business through a sharper lens, to ask, where might we be leaking margin, leaking execution, leaking visibility, leaking decision quality? Where might we be losing runway without seeing it clearly? That is a starting point, because before you cut more, spend more, raise more, chase another retailer, or fund another promotion, you need to know where the pressure is really coming from. What should founders do with this now? So what should you do with this? Start with the loudest leak. Not every leak, not every problem, not every system, the loudest leak. If the pressure is cash and margin, look at trade spend, deductions, pricing, and promotions. If the pressure is execution, look at broker follow-up, inventory, distribution, merchandising, and in-store reality. If the pressure is shopper visibility, start listening more intentionally. Use your email list, use your reviews, use your trade show conversations, the buyer questions, the customer service. Use every signal you already have access to. If the pressure is decision quality, ask whether your current reports are actually helping you make better decisions. If they're only telling you what happened, you may need a better decision tool. And if you're not sure where to start, that is exactly why the Leak Founder exists. The goal is not to diagnose everything today. The goal is to find the latest leaks so you can stop guessing and choose the right next step. That is how you protect Runway. That is how you improve execution. That is how you compete smarter. In closing, the margin for error just got smaller. That is the reality founders are operating in. But that does not mean that small brands cannot win. In fact, I believe the brands that build clarity now can create a bigger advantage when the environment improves, because they will come out sharper. They will understand their shopper better. They will manage trade spend with more discipline. They will prevent more deductions. They will build better follow-up systems. They will use better decision tools. They will know where to focus, and they will know how to compete with more confidence. That is the space Retail Solve is built to serve, helping entrepreneur CPG brands get more runway from the resources they already have, helping them see what others miss, helping them act faster, helping them win smarter. This week, start with the free 15-minute CPG Runway Leak Finder. No email required, download it instantly. Review it in about 15 minutes. Use it to find where your brand may be losing cash, margin, execution, visibility, or decision quality. You can get it at retailsolve.com/leak finder. If this episode helped you put into words what you've been feeling, share it with another founder, because they may not be broken either. They may just be trying to grow in a world where margin for error just got smaller. I'll see you next time. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Thanks again for joining me on the Bulletproof Your CPG Brand podcast. If this episode helped you see your business differently, follow the show, leave a comment, and share it with another founder who needs it. You can download this episode's free guide in the show notes. And if you want to start with the bigger picture, run the free 15-minute CPG Runway Leak Finder at retailsolve.com/findleaks. Before you raise more money, cut the wrong thing, or fund another promotion, find where your cash, margin, execution, and decision quality may already be leaking inside your business. I'll see you in the next episode. At retailsolve.com/session 329.